Congratulations, William. You are in first place now overnight. So tell us a little bit about Sea Cookie and Be My Hero today.
Well, thank you very much. We had really overall a fantastic day, and to be in overnight lead is very exciting. Started off with Sea Cookie this morning, and he wasn't as smooth as he was last year, to be honest. He was a little bit laboured, a little bit cautious. He is quite a cautious horse, but he definitely felt to me a little bit behind my leg and not really taking me to the fences. But he's very genuine, and he kept on trying, and he kept on going, and two at a double of angles. I don't know what number that is, but he landed very flat-footed and not on my line, so I had to take the option there. And once I'd done that, I knew I wasn't going to lose time. He's not a galloping machine, and you need to pretty much be, on the job all the way to do the time at a 4-star with him. So he came home with a few time penalties. I think he's on 59, so still very, very happy with him, and fingers crossed he's okay. But yeah, he just felt a little bit harder work than I was anticipating. And it was a bit of a long wait between the two, but not as long as normal, because at least we didn't have the long lunch break that they normally have here. So the day kept its momentum, which was excellent. And then Be My Hero gave me a super ride. I was really delighted with him. I'd been a little bit worried that he was lacking a little bit of experience or a bit of fitness. He's a bit chubby. He hadn't come here with that many runs, and he didn't run very much last year either, so wasn't quite sure what to expect. But he was magnificent, and he's such a genuine horse, and he was superb. A little bit lucky through the head of the lake, but for me, he was never in doubt. He was on the job. He was taking me to the fences, and he's got a fifth leg, and it's a great comforter to know that. So yeah, here we are sitting on Saturday night thinking, let's not cock it up tomorrow.
How's his show jumping?
Yeah, that's, it's okay. It's okay. He'll try hard. He can be a good jumper. He had one down in Poe the year he was 4th there, so he could jump a clear round, but he might not. He's not like Lionheart or Chilly Morning. He's a little bit. He could roll a pole, but he's not going to. He's not going to.
To what extent, when you have multiple horses that you're going with, does it become easier when you have the second or the third horse because you've ridden the course once, or is it more dependent on the horse's ability as to how you go through on those subsequent rounds?
I think it's an interesting point. I think generally, if you've had a good ride on the first one, it's got you ready for the second one. Sometimes you can have a bad ride on the first one and think, this is more serious than I thought, and you start complicating things. The important issue really is to ride each horse individually. They're all different, and to ride them round accordingly. And I knew these two horses were quite different horses. It's quite funny. The one that looks like a racehorse isn't, and the one that looks like a cob is more of a racehorse. So they are quite different animals. And Be My Hero is full of confidence, and he was a great horse to ride second. I knew my way around a little bit. Had a good idea for striding things, and he was just super. But I do think if you've had a good ride, it kind of gets you in the mode. You've kind of had the butterflies a little bit. Second horse, maybe you're not quite so nervous, although I was probably more nervous because I knew that the second one was more important. Needs to go clear round, and yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to ride 3 round there. Thank you. It was quite a warm day actually, and with all that gear on, you do get quite hot and quite dried out. But it was 2 horses was plenty.
How do you sort of generally feel going into stadium? Is that maybe the easiest of the 3 phases for you, or more pressurized at the end?
I think the stadium is a funny phase really, because it's not like the cross country. It's not as scary. It's not as worrying. It's not as dramatic. But it can be the most irritating. So I just hope he jumps well. Love him to jump a clear round. Love him to win. But actually, I'm delighted with him today. And if he has a rail or 2 tomorrow, so be it. He'll be better for his experience here. He'll come on. He's only 11 years old. If he goes well enough tomorrow, he puts himself right up in contention for the World Championships. And what more can you ask? But yeah, the show jumping is quite tense. It's quite fiddly. The dressage, in a way, you're going to set the mark. You know, you're tense and you're nervous, but there's no competition started yet, so you're going in there to do your best. Whereas when you come to show jumping, you need to salvage what you've got, and then you feel a little bit, a little bit edgy and all, God. But certainly, if I come into show jumping and I've got a fence in hand, that's always a little bit of a help. It really is, but it doesn't look like I'm going to have two, does it?
It is very close at the top.
Very close, very, very close. I mean, the dressage marks were really close, and I've hardly ever seen them all bunched together. I mean, it's extraordinary to think that so many competitors could be thought to be on pretty much identical marks for their performances, but that's how it's worked out. So it's a nail-biting competition. They've been talking about it all day, and it's going to carry on tomorrow.
Thanks, William, and congratulations on your runs today.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.